In this module, we'll talk about cybersecurity breaches and take a look at some of the leading examples in the recent past in which some security breaches have taken place. So a security breach is really where an attacker or an unauthorized entity has broken into a system, for example, and there has been a compromise of security, and then there has been unauthorized access, and perhaps the entity who was the attacker has stolen that information, which is sensitive, confidential information owned by an organization. So these are two links shown on the screen, and I would encourage the viewers to have a look at these, because these are very nice summaries, one in the form of a video on the top and one in the form of a portal which show the recent breaches. There are also two excellent leading global reports for breaches, and if you want to track the breaches that are happening, there are two reports. One is by Verizon. It's called the Data Breach Investigations Report, or the DBIR. The last iteration happened in 2017, very recently. And then there's the Symantec 2017 Internet Security Threat Report. And both these organizations, they issue these reports on an annual basis, so you can actually look at them every year. Now, these are some screenshots from the reports which I've just mentioned. And let's look at some screenshots from the Verizon report first. So what they do is, with the Verizon DBIR report, they track and follow thousands of breaches from hundreds of organizations all around the world, and then summarize the information in the form of these graphics that you can see. So who's behind all these major breaches? About 75% are perpetrated by outsiders, and only 25% of these are internal actors, and about 18% are state-affiliated actors. And what tactics do they normally use? 62% of breaches are hacking, and about 51% of, or over half of the breaches include malware. So in this slide, we see from the Verizon report that who are the victims? Who is actually attacked? 24% of the breaches affected financial organizations, and about 15% of breaches involved healthcare from all around the world. And what else is common? 66% of malware was installed via malicious email attachments. So that's very shocking and surprising. And 73% of breaches were financially motivated. Now, this is from the Symantec report. And here we see the 2016 status. So there were about 1,200 total breaches in 2016. And breaches with more than 10 million identities exposed, there were about 15, which is quite surprising. About 1.1 billion total identities exposed, as reported in the Symantec report. In 2016, the phishing rate went up. 1 in 2,596 emails was a spam email. The email malware rate went up. 1 in 131 emails had malware in it. And the new malware variants were about 357 million. Number of bots also increased. And what we see here is that the new Android mobile malware families, there are about 4 which came out, and about 3.6 thousand new Android mobile malware variants were detected. On the website, average number of web attacks blocked per day were about 229,000, which were detected, as reported by Symantec. And ransomware, the ransomware families, there were about 101, which were detected by Symantec. And average ransom amount per attack was about $1,000, and number of detections were about 463,000. Internet of Things, it takes about 2 minutes to compromise an IoT device and to attack an IoT device. So these are the reports, the leading global reports, both the Verizon and the Symantec ISTR report. And when you look at these are the way that these are developed are that the entire year these organizations conduct surveys, and they are in touch with, and they follow these attacks and these breaches, and then they summarize this information. And it's a global report, so it gives you information about the activities happening all around the world. Thank you.